In this case, the man is designated the performer and women become the audience. And that's relatively new in the culture of the United States.
Women become the audience.
Dance for me. Women telling men to dance for them. Woman waffles that men should be performative men for women in 2025. But what does it mean? Performative men or performative males is a 2025 internet meme and term describing men who display wokeness, okay, or a feminist aesthetic to gain social validation and attract romantic partners. Of course, some would say that's verging on simping and pandering, isn't it? Rather than out of genuine conviction. Damn, it's fake. It's an act, a mask, a costume to put on to gain women's attention, to get some draws. Really, I don't think men do that. Key characteristics include drinking matcha, carrying tote bags, listening to specific music, and reading certain books. My God. Order your copy of Why Do Men Love Bitches. Yeah. This behavior is criticized for being inauthentic, a form of social posturing. And a tactic to manipulate perceptions. Though some argue all social interactions is a form of performance, or a form of performance because it is, because they are. Look, you can say it on many different levels. You can say it's peacocking. It's like, in a sense, none of this is actually new, is it? It's just a redefinition of some things that have always been. Yes, in a sense, men have always been performing for women to get the attention of women, and vice versa as well. But this woman agrees, men, you should be this men. You should want to gain validation from a woman. It should be your purpose in life as a man. Interesting.
I hope you're focused and on your square.
Why do we care so much about performative men? This cultural panic around the performative man provides us a good insight into shifting power dynamics in heterosexual dating. This is Internet Anthropology, and I recently gave quotes to this article by Hypebeast on the performative man, written by Nico Gavino. Go read the article, but these are my thoughts. So the use of the word performative or performance is very important here, because it speaks to an emerging power dynamic in heterosexual interactions. In this case, the man is designated the performer and women become the audience. And that's relatively new in the culture of the United States. Because in this case, the male's performance is also one that aims to be accepted and risks rejection by the female audience. This showcases a massive power shift in what is expected in the performance of gendered courtship, especially if we think of the declining viewership of Miss America pageants compared with the uptick in Timothy Chalamet or Pedro Pascal lookalike competitions.
And it's an interesting point. Where are the lines between being a performative man, genuinely being that sort of man, doing it just to fit in, or being against it, heavily against it, because you understand to a degree, in certain contexts, it is part of status quo. Because look, for the amount of men that are single and bachelor men, and for the amount of men that are struggling as well, there are tons of men out there who are willingly performing, aren't they? And this isn't just the internet. This is mostly, I think she's mostly making a point from like an internet social media perspective, the culture of social media and the internet in terms of modern dating and heterosexual relationships. And you do see it. You do see it everywhere. Come on, there are so many men who are, from one perspective, you can say pandering to women on the internet. Yeah, a lot of them. And they are the sort of men that other men would say, are you performing, bruh? Come on, really, bruh, you're performing.
To this day!
You see, this is why the whole like calling out and the exposure sort of thing, like my previous video about Sadia Khan and Aberrant Preach exposing her for her fakeness in being a therapist and psychologist. It's in a sense, and the point I was making as well, I mean, everyone's performing, aren't they? Everyone is sort of performing. But I mean, to what level are they performing? But I don't think this is wholly healthy. I get her point. You know, as a modern woman, she likes it. Yeah, go on, men, dance for us, dance for us.
I am the table.
Put on a show for us to get and keep our attention. But the point is, part of the entire performative male thing is the fact it's a lie. It can be a mask men put on. And in that aspect, can you even blame men if it works? It's like, alright bro, that's your game. Yeah, drink your matcha and wear your blouse type shirts. Yeah, if it's working for you, bro, hey, carry on.
Men are placed under judgment for their ability to achieve an ideal look or figure. Even if these pageants are done ironically, and undoubtedly these are satirical, but the choosing of heartthrobs rather than sports heroes or manosphere podcasters is important. They display a shifting of who performs in the emerging dating culture. To be clear, women still perform under this model and are expected to engage with grooming and behaviors to attract men. Men are also starting to consider how they might more accurately perform for women's tastes and preferences. Of course, there's a layer of absurdity here because we're all performing our identities all the time. However, what is changing is how men are more actively considering the subjectivity of their female audiences when constructing their performance. After the realization that looks maxing at the gym does not generally attract women, men are starting to learn which books, brands, and beverages women actually enjoy and seeking to perform in line with their actual preferences, many for the very first time. And we can say that women are used to performing attractiveness for male viewers. From the time that they are very young, women and girls are taught by society what men look for in women. There has not been the same established practice for men to do the same.
I get your point, but no, you're wrong. What are you talking about? Look, lovely woman, but no, you're wrong. In some way, men have been programmed from youth as well. But it's in a different perspective because we're programmed to have to be that sort of man to provide a place for a woman. So part of a man's thing is to build. Do you understand? And that's something we've understood from men. It's a sort of the savior complex men have. It's not even like a complex. It's a normal standard part of nature, to be honest. So no, men have been, on that same sort of perspective as well. But let's admit, what's interesting and modern is women's ability to choose the men that they want, sexual liberation, just all-round free choice nowadays. So yes, a lot of men would adapt and, mold themselves to be what a lot of women crave to want and fancy. But this, on the same hand, is part of the reason women are creating and calling men sassy. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's got well-manicured hands and toes, just like you. That's nice, isn't it?
And maybe this might mark a shift to a positive outcome in heterosexual dating. Do we really want to risk men not reading female lit because of the fear of being called performative? I mean, at the very least, they're supporting the publishing industry. But if there is fear from women here about the performative man, it's not disdain for the performance itself, but rather a nervousness about who this man really is when the performance ends.
You see, an overall point right now is, if the act is working and convincing, if the lie works, how much of a lie is it? Is the person wrong for creating the lie, or is the victim wrong for accepting the lie, the deception? Interesting. The world is yours. Have a nice day.
Women become the audience.